Jeremy Hambly of the Quartering may have put himself in legal hot water in his fight with the Kino Casino boys and his apparent flagging campaign. We're going to get into today on The Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney. This is a fast facts video, the quick and dirty version of the latest in legal news. So looking at how the Quartering has legally trapped himself. So of course we have in this corner as the defendant here today, Jeremy Hambly of the Quartering, who's ran a very large YouTube for a long time. Many people know him for his commentary on social issues, politics, and other gaming issues. But he stepped in it in a fight with the Kino Casino boys. That is Ashton, or PPP, and a very good photo of him right there. And of course, Andy Worski. Now, these guys are well known on the internet for poking fun at people, for kind of making light of their drama and other issues. One of the big instances, well, they'll try to bait people in, was with iDubbbz, who got baited into a battle between him and the Kino Casino boys, which just ends up propelling them even more, as the internet does. When you engage with it, it goes crazy and goes viral. Well, the latest thing to go viral with the Kino Casino boys is with the Quartering. So the Kino Casino boys, Ashton and Andy Worski, mocked Jeremy Hambly for being let's call it a corner chair sitter. You guys know what that implies, and calling into question his relationships, including with friends and other people that may have had an impact on his personal life. We'll leave it at that. And also calling in question some of his other interactions with women and his interaction with other people that are really questionable. And Jeremy Hambly didn't like that. He not only responded to that, trying to debunk these things, but he eventually got so mad in this battle with the Kino Casino boys that he openly threatened their social media. He came out and said, "I can take him down, I can take him out." Well, shortly after that, channels started disappearing, both the Kino Casino Clips channel and other channels, Andy Worski's personal channel, and now even Clippers are losing videos and having their videos taken down after this campaign. So we can look at the evidence here, and we see the public evidence which was posted. These are conversations between Josh Moon of the Kiwi Farms and the Quartering, saying, "Josh, can we agree I can take their kick in YouTube, right? If I actually wanted to, they would be deplatformed outside of DLive in a week. I don't want that. I just want them to leave my family alone. I don't care how many Jeremy is a cluck videos they put out. I have a non-Pajit YouTube rap." I love the language there. You know that, right? One phone call, gone. I have endured a lot with literally the tiniest request. So you can see here, there's very clear language threatening. I mean, this is an unambiguous threat. And he's even saying how he's going to do it. His preferred method with his contacts and connections is to pick up the phone and to call. And you can see here he kind of reinforces this when there's a question saying, "An assumption I see being made is that you, the Quartering, have God mode reporting powers on YouTube. Is that true?" He confirms this and says, "Yes, all I have to do is press a button and poof. I also shouldn't even have to report the channels either, apparently." So once again, he's confirming his ability. He's saying, I have this power to do this thing. And with all situations implied, once again, these channels going down, it can only be assumed that that was him. That's a very safe assumption based on that timing. It's not something where these channels would magically disappear, where they've been up for quite a while amidst this conflict and amidst these threats. And you can even see that other channels, and this is a smaller channel, Alyssa Clips, are having their channels and their videos hit as well. When they clip things, when they post them on YouTube, they're coming down and getting hit by mysterious reporting. So what do we see here? Well, we see the Quartering denying this and saying, if the Kino Casino was wrongly banned for ban evasion, I 100% think they should be restored. So he's saying, oh, if they were wrongly. So, it's kind of hiding his belief that it was justified. And hate their guts, but I think it's a mistake. YouTube should fix it. I already proved beyond a doubt I didn't do it, whether they wanted to believe it or not. Now that doubt is coming into question now. First of all, we have his previous statements, but then we have more evidence coming out that it may indeed have been him. So we had this revealed. This was revealed by the Kiwi Farms, which watched one of his clips where he had clicked his search bar. And when you look at that search bar carefully, you see these YouTube support tickets, right? You see several YouTube support tickets. Thank you for your report to YouTube, and a YouTube support ticket there, which came out right after this happened. So the timing of those reports, very, very, very suspicious. Now, of course, Quartering came back trying to counter this, kind of in full scramble mode, saying, nobody is interested in the truth, so I don't know why I bother, but these psychos will just move the goalpost again. But again, my updated report history. Dozens of channels stating as a fact I took down their channel, which I understand should be back up soon. So he's trying to say, hey, look, here's my report history. Of course, we cannot know whether that's his actual full report history. And also, and I think the bigger thing is that he asserted that he did this perhaps by phone call and by use of a back channel connection. And this is bolstered by Yellow Flash, who actually reached out to somebody with connections to YouTube. And this is what they had to say. The YouTube individual. They said, just for your own peace of mind, I pinged one of our guys last night about the quartering drama. His estimation based on the back end is that the casino was taken down from a personal request because all the user reports were deemed nonsense by the automated system all week, except a privacy claim that also failed to hold up to manual review. He's on the security side, but did say this is almost certainly an off-platform point of contact, call, email, text that resulted in manual channel deletion. So once again, going back to that original theory that there was a call here to get these channels taken down. And so that's where we get into our argument for legal liability, civil liability, and that is tortious interference. And that's the most clear case here. Now, tortious interference requires four things. Existing of an economic relationship. Well, Kino Casino and the others that were taken down, Andy Worski's personal channel, Alyssa Clips, etc., are all monetized channels. They were profiting off of that, and that's something that we know is valid and existed. We also know that Jeremy Hambly knew about this relationship. He knew they were monetized. In fact, he commented that they were making $10,000 a month or something to that degree on their YouTube content and threatened to have that taken away, that revenue taken away. Is there an intentional act to disrupt or intervene? Well, that's where getting the contact, making the call, that's intentional. He did that with the intent of taking those down. So that's an intentional act. Now, improper means and improper motive, that's all about false flagging and false reports. That's where the false reports come in. What exactly did Jeremy Hambly say to his contact or connection to have them taken down? Did he just say, I don't like these guys, take them down, boys, or whatever else? Now, we don't know that yet, but that's certainly something that would come out in discovery. All of those calls, emails, text messages, DMs, whatever else that Hambly may or may not have sent to YouTube support or his connection could be discoverable. So here's my judgment. My judgment is that Quartering has put himself in a position through all of his behavior for very real tortious interference lawsuit. It's very possible that they could file this lawsuit. Now, I'm not saying they would necessarily win. I'm not saying in the end this might be a muddled situation, but they could file that lawsuit in YouTube's home of California or in Jeremy Hambly's home of Wisconsin, in those states. And by filing those lawsuits, they would get discovery, they would get calls and emails. And Jeremy Hambly is no stranger to lawsuits. He's sued people before, but as a plaintiff. It's much different being on the defendant's side and seeing what that would expose and what that would bring to light. Of course, I'm no fan of false flagging, and I'm certainly a fan of keeping information up if it's proper, if it's not violating the TOS. I think that's a right thing to do.